Host, Chariesse Boyd, and we are live on GPAT TV 23 Facebook page. Tell a friend, tell a loved one, notify individuals. Join us as we dive in to yet another public access awareness and informative topic for this day. I am so pleased to be live in our GPAC TV studio right here in the heart of Eastern North Carolina, right in Pitt County of Greenville. I am doubly blessed to have our guest of the hour with us. She is an individual that is near and dear to my heart, and I am excited to introduce to some and introduce to others my coworker, my friend, Banesa Berumen. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Well, I am glad that you're here. Thank you for being a part of this day's show. And it is entitled, ladies and gentlemen, Human Trafficking, a crime that is sweeping the nation. And why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers and our listening our watchers and our listening viewers? To you, Vanessa.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
I was born in California,
Okay.
and I was raised in Mexico for about 11 years. And I was raised by my grandparents, and then moved back to Texas,
Okay.
and then been here in North Carolina for the past 7 years. And here I am. There's no way that I will move to a different state. I love North Carolina.
Well, I'm glad. And speaking about North Carolina, that's how you and I kind of connected
Right.
In relation to this topic,
Right.
this very important and heinous, sad topic. We want to speak a little bit today about human trafficking and how important it is for more and more of our society to get to probably have more insight,
Right.
become more aware, and more importantly, prevention.
Right.
So you are what I call an expert in obtaining knowledge in human trafficking. Now, am I putting too much pressure on you by saying
You
that?
are. You are. That's a lot of pressure on me now.
Well, I tell you what, I remember when you first joined the connection that we have together in this human services field. And I look at you today, and I'm very happy to have had you accept the invitation to work with me and help me let our viewers know the importance of human trafficking. So let me dive right in. Right here in the state that we reside, North Carolina, what does the statistics say about the human trafficking area with this state?
Well, I can tell you that I've been to different communities,
Okay.
in different counties, and we're not there where the community understands and believe that, hey, it is happening in our backyard. And a lot of times when someone comes to me, they ask me, is it really happening in my county? Is it really going on? Yes, it is happening everywhere. We just have to know how to read the signs, how
Yes.
to this, to understand what is really happening with our, our friends, our family members.
Yes.
We just don't have that information. We don't have that education. We're missing a lot of awareness, education on that topic.
Okay. And I totally agree with you. When I spoke about human trafficking in the community, so many people had poor insight into it. So, according to our factual statistics, what is the percentage that we have? What number are we ranked in the nation?
Well, I can tell you that in 2021, we were number 13. 2022, number 10.
And this is out of the nation.
This is in the nation, yes. In 2023, this past year,
Mhm.
we're at number 9.
Wow.
So that actually tells you how misinformed North Carolina is in regards to this topic.
I'm sad to hear that. Number 9. Wow. Okay, let's kind of talk about that. What do you feel the root cause of human trafficking could possibly be?
Uh,
It could be many things, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What comes to your mind first, Banesa?
Everything. The way we live, who we trust. I would say the vulnerable people.
I like that, the vulnerable people. Yeah.
Yes. A lot of times we think that it's because they're, you know, there might be some kind of financial stability.
Yeah.
Yes, that could happen, but let's really understand what is human trafficking.
Okay.
We know that is someone that we trust, that we know that they promise us a better life, love that a lot of times we are in need, and those are false promises, and unfortunately we a lot of times we just don't know how to read them.
You know what it sounds like a little bit? It almost sounds a little bit like a pimp.
Yeah.
Promising a prostitute, right?
Yes.
I would not be able to recognize it. I know that there are telltale signs. And fortunately or unfortunately, the fortunate part is we're bringing this to the public. The second fortunate thing is this live will be re-aired and it can be viewed worldwide. That's a plus. Unfortunately, there may be individuals right in our own families that we can't really put together what is going on with him or her. And we'll get to the him soon. Because every time we think of human trafficking, we automatically think of a young lady or a young woman.
Right.
But
not necessarily.
That's
it can be a woman, could be the trafficker. So anyone, it's a victim, and anyone could be a trafficker, a perpetrator. It don't matter the culture. It don't matter the sex. Mm-hmm. It could be anyone. It could be our neighbors, our anyone. It could be anyone.
Is it safe to say it could be going on right next door to us and we won't know it?
Yes. Yep. Yes, we can say that for sure.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, but yet true. I know years back, I've been in this state for about more or less 17 years. And I remember one year we had a big, for lack of a better word, a big bust that happened right here in Greenville, North Carolina. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was in a hotel or a motel locally. And it made national news. Mm-hmm. And so many community members, so many neighbors were just astonished. They were very surprised that it was happening, just like you said, right here in our own backyard. So with that being said, what are some of the telltale signs that families, loved ones, and people could look for?
Well, definitely if let's say that we have a friend, for example, and we lost communication with them.
Okay.
They're not the same as before. They're hiding their bruises, for example. Mm-hmm. They had been isolated. They are having more expensive items than before, right? They're moving from a place to place to place, and you never know what are they doing. There's a lot of things. Tattoos, those are branding tattoos, they call them now. Mm-hmm. For example, young children may be skipping school.
That's right.
That could be a red flag right there. Let's find out. Are children using the cell phone? What is really going on? Mm-hmm. It's something that we really need to focus on our children, because they could be a potential target to sextortion. So that is really sad.
Yeah.
Friends, a lot of times, a much older friend.
Yeah.
Why you're gonna have so much older friend, especially your child?
I love that.
Right?
That just, a light bulb just went off in my head. Wow, I didn't even think of that until you just said it. There is a real person, a real young lady that's 12. All her friends are like 25 plus. I want you to know I never thought about that until you just said it. And she happens to be unusually like overdeveloped, not from an operation or anything,
right?
Just happens to be.
Wow.
Yeah. So now that makes me go back to my think tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because some conversations that she's had with me were not appropriate for her
Right.
age.
Yeah, yes, definitely. That's a red flag right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also who they are. Is she staying with her parents?
No.
Is
Often,
she
often disappears.
often disappears. That's a
Often
red flag.
disappears.
That's a red flag. But not only that, every case is different.
Okay.
So a lot of times we say, "Oh, well, it's because the way she dresses." Let's say a female right now.
Okay.
It can happen to anyone. A girl, or they deserve it because the way they were dressing, or she was calling it, she wanted it. Things like that. That as a society we just don't think that they might be having some kind of problem that they need our help. And unfortunately, like I said, it's just the community who we trust, and we hang out.
I like that, and that's something for us to look forward to. I want to kind of read something,
Yes.
and you can certainly comment behind it because, as I first stated, you're the expert. So, some indicators that I actually did some research with are some things you mentioned. Does the person appear disconnected from their family? I told you sometimes she doesn't come home. Again, 12.
Right.
Only been on this earth for 12 years. As you stated, their friends appear to be much older than she is. They begin to have a different pattern where, for example, the person may have been a person that grew up in church. Now they're disconnected from the church. They were with, let me just throw something out there, the Girl Scouts or the Boys and Girls Club. They're not interested in that no more. When the family has little outings, they want to stay home and isolate. Another thing is, and this is happening with her as I read it, stop attending school. And unfortunately, it's for money.
Right.
And I'm going to call it filthy lucre. Right. And desperate times call for desperate measures. Another ugly thing is the guardian, the mom or the dad, they're aware of it. And because that money's coming in, they turn away from the heinous crime of it all. Any comment on that?
Well, that is very sad. Unfortunately, I do want to know more about this case after this.
Yeah.
I believe we can find some help to assist.
Okay.
Yes, that is one familiar reason why a lot of times parents will use their children either for pay rent or have food on our table. That could be one of the reasons. Drugs, it could be many, many, many reasons. And a lot of times, something that we always have to understand is that for many victims of trafficking, they don't think that they are in danger. They don't think that they are being trafficked because we create a trauma bond with that person. We, I love you. I'm going to take care of you.
I got you.
I got you. Yes. You just, let's just work. Let's make a fortune, all of those things. And then later on, once that person gets your trust, everything changes. Now it's like, hey, I need money to pay rent. Can you do this with my friend? He's just going to pay. Just do it this time.
Sure.
And then it continues and continues and continues. It's a trust. It's a trauma bond that we have with them.
Like
so a lot of times we trust them.
Trauma bond. That's a good word. I never heard of that word in that context.
It also could be the father of our children, for example, or the mother of our
speak
children.
on that because that is true. Tell me about that.
Well, let's say that this person has, let's say, 2 wives, 3 wives, ages. We never know, right? But we just love that person so much that we'll be willing to do anything that we want, and we're just not gonna call police or tell anyone what is really happening because we love that person. We want to continue with that person with us. So things like that.
Yeah. So trauma bonds are created.
Yes. There's a bond.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Let's talk a little bit about bruises. Sometimes telltales. I know you mentioned tattoos.
Yes.
And I can't wait to dig into the other half of this because I know about the Blue campaign and all that, right?
Yes.
And you have some good information you want to share with us with North Carolina. But the tattoos, are there certain types of tattoos or does it matter? Tell me about the certain types.
There is. Again, every case is different.
Every case is different. That's right.
I can tell you just what I've seen.
Okay.
So let's say that you see a female, a tattoo somewhere in her breast, probably. Let's just say that an example.
Okay.
That is going to say, my king is
such and such.
Such and such. And then you see another female with the same tattoo, same place. Well, that is actually a branding, so meaning that this person belongs to this other person.
Okay.
So in case maybe they want to, go away,
yeah,
and find someone else, this person belongs to this person. So a lot of times they think they can leave alive, but there's remedies. We can. There's help out there.
And you know what it sounds like? It sounds like they're being talked into being branded or marking their territory.
They've been trained. They've been trained not to trust anyone outside other than them.
This is so scary. And it comes in so subtle.
Yeah.
And
they're so charming.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a thin line between this domestic violence, maybe not necessarily physical, sometimes mental abuse, right? Emotional abuse. Yeah. So sad. From what I read, I had to do my little homework. 12 years old seems to be one of the most popular ages where this begins. Any reason why? It could be younger, like you always say, case by case. But it seems like 12 years old is like that.
Well, those are the numbers that we have.
Okay.
Those are the latest numbers that we've seen.
Okay.
Of course, we've seen cases younger than that.
Yeah.
But that is the most popular ages. I can't tell you a reason.
That's right.
But I have heard of many, many cases younger than 12. Youngest as 2 years old.
So that would be sodomy. It could be the whole entire sex trafficking thing. I question that, and I'm going to tell you why. And remember, I'm a layperson. I know that when we're young, we're infants and toddlers, we're still developing. Right. So I'm just going to leave that right there.
Yes.
And that puts,
that's a different subject.
Yeah, it puts a bad feeling inside. And I certainly hope and pray that we can do something to bring more awareness to this. What I feel is a hidden crime. And it's sad that we're number 9 on the list. Do we know who number 1 is?
California.
I said it.
California.
We said it. I said, is it LA?
Texas is number 2.
Yeah. And I know I did my homework a little bit, and it's throughout the whole world. I saw this movie years ago, and I know it's popular. The young lady was in Paris.
Okay.
And it was a movie, but it was a good movie. I forgot the name. Taken.
Oh, yes. I heard about that
That is
movie.
when I really sunk my teeth into human trafficking. Yeah. And her dad just happened to be a detective or whatever he was. Yeah. And he was determined to get, of course, it was sensationalized and it was, but it's still, we watch the news. Yeah. I get dressed to the news every morning. Every once in a while, Banesa, I hear such and such went somewhere and they never returned. Yeah. And when I was young, because I'm much younger than you are, I believe, we had missing children and missing people on milk cartons. Mm-hmm. Do you know about that?
No, I haven't heard about that.
Right. Generation gap here. But those were, I'm going to call them the good old days.
Okay.
Because I came from the world of having cereal on Saturday mornings, cold cereal.
Okay.
And we would often see missing people on the milk containers.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about now?
I know exactly what you're talking about now. Okay. Yes.
And that was a plus.
Okay.
Because every once in a while, somebody would say, I know that person. Or I saw that person. Unfortunately, I don't know why it's not in the world today, but it's not. There was a TV show that was on. I don't know the name of it, but it was Wanted. And it was real people that they were looking for. And they found several individuals from, the show.
Yeah.
I'm saying all that to say, I believe, and remember, we're a public access channel, and we're just bringing awareness. I believe if we were to go back to some of those ways, we can find out where some of these children are.
Yeah.
I'll see it very rare on the news that such and such is missing.
Yeah.
You know, of course, with our cellular devices, we have what it called Amber Alerts and, you know, even Silver Alerts.
Yeah.
So that takes me to my next question. Is it realistic that elderly people become victims of human trafficking?
Yes.
Tell me about that. 'Cause
Yes,
I
definitely.
know nothing. I did no research on that.
Yeah,
Talk to me.
definitely. So basically, but before we move to that,
Sure.
okay, let me go back to
Okay.
the prior where you were saying.
Sure.
So when we're talking about human trafficking now,
Mhm.
this time,
Mhm.
it's someone that we trust. It's not necessarily
A stranger.
Yes, it's not necessarily a stranger. It's someone that we trust, that we believe that is going to take care of us. Yes, we say, okay, well, a lot of times when we hear the word human trafficking, it's automatically comes to our mind of, oh, it's someone has been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Yes, it can happen, but not necessarily in this country.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more someone that we trust,
Wow.
someone that we care that that person is going to take care of us.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me go back to the next one.
I like that. I like that.
So yes, listen, for trafficking, human trafficking, anyone is a victim. Anyone could be a victim. Everybody's vulnerable, but some people are more vulnerable than others. Now, the older you get, yes, there is a lot more how can I say
Elderly?
yes, the older person is more vulnerable because either health issues, they don't have the necessary health. Again, someone that they trust that is taking care of them, and they could be, a potential victim. In trafficking, it can happen at their own house, at their own home. So it don't matter what age.
So when you speak about human trafficking, because I have such poor insight into it, and I'm sure I'm speaking for half of our viewers and listeners, when I try to imagine what human trafficking looks like, it's hard to imagine because you just spoke about elderly people, you spoke about infants and toddlers, and I can't imagine what that looks like. I cannot. I just can't. And I don't even know if I want you to describe it to me. I think that should be our viewers and our watchers' homework, especially if we're interested, because Vanessa, I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough subject. This is a tough topic that we're talking about, and this is why we don't have the awareness in our state, because a lot of times we just don't want to think about it or what is really going on, and we just close our eyes and say it's not happening here. It's not here in Greenville, for example. It's not in the next county. It is happening everywhere.
Okay, you're right. So I love what you just educated us on. Oftentimes, it's someone that we trust.
Yes.
And that hits close because when you say that, now I have to reprogram my thinking. Because remember, I'm stuck on the movie Taken, where it was a stranger.
Let's forget about that.
Right, because that's been sensationalized.
Right. It could happen.
It can happen. So now I'm thinking about, wow, someone that we trust, coupled with what you say. It could be right next door.
Right.
It could be a family member.
Exactly. Let me just give you an example.
Yeah, please.
So let's say that, I have children, little children. You come to my house.
Yeah.
Okay. Just an example.
Okay.
My children, you're asking for my children to sit in your lap. And my child doesn't want to. But yes, I am telling my child to do it regardless.
Okay.
And my child might not be comfortable because of maybe something happened. Maybe, there was some kind of touching inappropriate that it did not make my child feel comfortable.
Right.
That is something that we want to be aware.
Okay.
Read the signs and make sure that our children are safe with the people that we surround with.
Wow. I'm thinking about family members. I remember when we came across, again, different generations.
Right.
Where our parents didn't allow us to spend the night at everyone's house.
Oh, yes.
Stuff like that. And
it happened with me too.
Yeah. And the children are guarded.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a thought that comes to my head: promiscuous behavior.
Mm.
How does promiscuous behavior tie into human trafficking? And when I say that, I'm thinking of a young person. Tell me more. Say it. Say more.
Yeah.
Okay. Promiscuous behavior. I like what you said. Go sit on such and such lap.
Right.
Go sit on such and such lap. And they're not comfortable. That parent, that guardian, or that father should be able to, a light bulb should go off on their head, right? Like
Right.
something's okay. So what happens when they miss it? Right? They may miss it. Ah.
Yes, yes. It's, the child might be scared to say something
Okay.
and may just want to, if they say, come and sit on my lap, they will just go ahead and do the same what they're asking because they're scared that, the parents might be in danger or the parents might not trust the child. They're not going to believe the child what it's really saying. So a lot of times is, the child might be scared for, the mom, dad,
Yeah.
for example.
I'm really intrigued by this very delicate topic. I'm just going to keep it real with our live audience. We we tried, we strived, we looked for individuals who are success stories from this type of lifestyle, who were victims, and it's hard
Mhm.
because we have individuals that have gone through this, and we would have to seek them out on a forum of their comfort
Right.
to hear their story
Right.
and to find out. So when I did do my digging,
Mhm.
I happened to come across our not so long ago news story, a local news story from right here in our area, where there was a young lady who spoke about how she came out of that life. And although I'm a part of several support groups
Mhm.
in human trafficking, none of them were quite ready
Mhm.
to be on a platform like how we are this day to speak about it. And that's fine
Mhm.
because Banesa and I are here to bring awareness,
Yeah.
share the telltale signs, and most importantly, prevention.
Right. Something that I have always say is that when we are talking to a possible victim of human trafficking, okay,
Yes.
don't ever assume anything.
Okay.
Okay, don't ever judge.
Okay.
Never. That is like the number one. Uh, and I will say the second one, promise. Don't ever promise anything.
I love that.
A lot of times when you are working with a victim or a possible victim,
Mhm.
anything can trigger them. And if they see you as a person of power,
Mhm.
trust me, they're not gonna trust you. They're just not. They're not gonna believe in you. Why? Why would they believe in? They don't know you.
Mhm.
So a lot of times it has to take a lot of
Mhm.
how can I say it? A lot of insight of us
Of
to
us. Mhm.
yes to to give them the time for them to trust us. And
Yeah.
a lot of times it will take many times for them to even say a story or tell you a little bit of what's really happening. So we have to make sure that make them feel comfortable. Don't ever judge, like I said,
Okay.
and be there. Be there whenever they're ready to speak.
I've worked in this human services field for well over a decade, and I know firsthand, not as a victim of human trafficking, that it's not easy. Because oftentimes you hear people say, "Well, why didn't you tell us?" Well, why did it's not easy? Because we are definitely traumatized. Um, I'm speaking on behalf of the people, and this title, human trafficking, let me do it this way, human trafficking, it it integrates with so many other things.
Yeah.
Domestic violence,
Mhm.
sexual abuse, incest,
Trafficking.
labor trafficking, which we'll get into in the short time we have left. What else? There's another word. There's another word I was thinking of, but it all kind of connects here and there. And last but not least, with this topic, before we move on to some more things with human trafficking, as a child, even if they were never part of it or became verbally abused by it or been a physical victim of it, if they witnessed it as a child, at that age, they may not have been able to put the pieces together, Banesa. However, because the environment, what we feel, what was in the atmosphere,
Right.
because we vibe off of energy, that can be traumatizing for them.
Yeah.
Definitely triggered and traumatized. And then we fast forward. We fast forward to pre-adolescence and adolescents and teenagers. And because I work in the field with young kids, that's my part-time job. You know me from my full-time job. And the parents are asking me, well, what is this about? I don't know, but it could be about an array of things that most often happen the foundation.
Yes.
And the foundation is birth to 6. That's when your foundation is built.
Yes.
So you speak about something else to close this part out, and I want to move on to the blue campaign and stuff like that.
Well, I can tell you that, like I said, every case is different.
Okay.
Our children and the adults are a great, target. But let's not forget that it can be anyone. It could be anyone. And something that I also want to say is
Okay.
that a lot of times we think that trafficking or human trafficking it's for immigrants,
Ah,
that that it's only happening to them.
that's right.
No. Mm-mm. It happens to anyone.
Okay. I appreciate that. I want to echo some important facts, and I'll let you speak on your own behalf. Sure. Children, from what I read, they account for half of the victims of human trafficking. And the fact is, the average age that a young person becomes involved in sex trafficking, I already spoke about it, is 12. And you speak because you're writing something, and I'm a pretty transparent host, so let her rip.
So basically, something else that I just want to say is that when we talk about trafficking or
Yeah.
human trafficking, we think that is human trafficking and human smuggling is the same thing. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's
So human trafficking and human smuggling, 2 different things.
two different things.
Educate.
So human smuggling, it's a crime against a country. Okay.
Human smuggling is a crime against the country.
Against the country. So that's when they cross the border. So let's say that, a coyote, that's what we call them in Mexico.
That's
okay?
right.
So let's say that I'm crossing the border. I have $20,000 to pay you. You're my coyote. Okay. Once I cross the border, you go your way, I go my way.
So who's the smuggler? The coyote or who?
The
Who's
coyote.
Who? I'm the
You're
coyote.
the coyote. You're the smuggler.
But what are you giving me? Money or
I'm giving you money. I'm giving you $20,000 for you to pass me over the border. Then once I come here to the border to the United States, I go my way, you go your way. So that's a mutual consent.
Totally different to human trafficking.
Totally different.
Okay.
Yes.
Check.
Yes. Now, when we're talking about human trafficking, that is a crime against a person.
Let me
See the
break that down.
difference?
Yes, I do.
Okay, human trafficking, it's a crime against a person.
Okay.
Human smuggling, it's a crime against a country.
Okay.
It's 2 different things.
Okay.
So a lot of times we say, well, if we close the border, it's not going to be human trafficking. No,
Okay.
that is not the case.
Okay.
Yes, the people that is here in the United States could be a possible victim of human trafficking and not necessarily have to be a smuggled person. Now, let's say that it could cross right there where that person, or I don't have the $20,000 to give you, and I only pay you $10,000, and the remaining I have to pay you some way, somehow. So that could be either commercial sex act or labor trafficking. And even selling drugs, it's trafficking, labor trafficking. Force.
That's forced labor trafficking.
Yes, force to sell drugs is force. Labor trafficking.
Okay, so you just broke down three different things. Human trafficking is different from human smuggling.
Yeah.
Human smuggling is different from human laboring trafficking.
Force of selling drugs.
So is that forced labor?
That is labor trafficking.
And they can all tie into one, correct?
Yeah.
Wow. Very, very good, informative. We have Shamel Berry that just stated this is good, informative information. And this will re-air. It will be shared on my social media page and hopefully yours.
Yes,
And
I
it will
will.
also be on our channel, GPAT TV 23, which is right here in the studio that we're in. The good news is we are worldwide. So people can certainly go to our website at gpattv23.org, which I will put on the screen. What other types of information did you have prepared that you want to share? I wanted to you do that, and I definitely don't want to forget about the blue campaign, because that's important for as a resource, right? So we'll save that for last.
Yes, let's do that.
What do you have, Banesa?
All right, so it's really important for the community to notify the local, authorities
Sure.
regarding a case or a potential case.
Okay.
Hey, it's okay if we're not sure. As long as we report it and let them know what you saw and what you think that is happening, it's extremely important. Okay, don't just go with your day and mind your own business. A lot of times, yes, we need your help as a community, member. It's better to call and be wrong than not calling and be sorry.
That's right.
So it's really important to make a report. You can call the Human Trafficking hotline at 1-888-373-7888.
1-888-373-7888.
7888.
And that is the what?
That is the Human Trafficking hotline.
Worldwide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I like that. Kind of reiterate that again while I put this up. They can call. I'm listening.
They can call. And also, if you go to the website at humantraffickinghotline.org, you can actually change the language.
Oh, good.
Yes, and you can send them a text message if you feel more comfortable, or you can even send a chat as well.
Nice.
Yes. What else? There's a lot of information.
Well,
and that's what we're here. They have any questions, you can let us know. We'll be happy to assist you, give you the information we know.
Well, I think the 1-800 number, the worldwide number, is very important. The Human Trafficking Hotline. This number can be connected to anyone, anywhere in the world, right?
That should be, let me see, 1-888-373-7888.
Is that it?
That is it. That is it. It's really important. That is the only number that we have to report those numbers.
Okay.
I'm sorry, and let me go back and tell you.
Sure.
This is only for United States, not worldwide.
Oh.
Just for United States. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yes. And this is where you can actually log into this website and you can see the numbers that we have for North Carolina. So you'll see that we are saying the truth. We got these numbers from this website.
Okay. And maybe I should type that website in one more time. Tell me the website.
Human Trafficking.
Yeah.
Hotline.org.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what else you have to say while I'm typing?
It's also necessary to contact your local law enforcement and let them know what's going on.
What if someone is hesitant and they don't want to contact their local law enforcement? Like in my field, we have a crisis hotline. Is there a crisis line? Is there a resource? I know you spoke about, because kids today, they like to chat. So that's a good thing. Some individuals like to call, and some individuals don't want to do either but talk online or research online. Is there any other? I'm going to take a stab at this with a guess. Is it safe to say that every single state has a human trafficking support line?
That is really hard for me to tell you.
Right.
It should.
It should.
It should. Yes. Especially with all those numbers that we've seen in California and Texas.
Yeah.
Yes, I can only tell you that we have organizations here in the state that help a victim
Okay.
And, you know, so we are here. We're yes.
All right. Now, I don't have this information with me, so I'm going to ask you. Tell me about the Blue Campaign.
The blue campaign.
I know that it has something to do with human trafficking. Case in point, pink is usually for breast cancer, right? Green is usually for what I represent, kidney awareness. And from what I heard or just learned, the Blue Campaign represents human trafficking. Am I correct?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It's more about immigration.
Tell me about that.
So when, yes, they tell you call the Blue Campaign to notify of a possible case. Well, what happened is that a lot of the Blue Campaign is attached to immigration, pretty much.
Okay.
So that is a sensitive subject to immigrants when we say Blue Campaign. So the right information, the right website to notify of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's the humantraffickinghandline.org.
The one that we have.
The one that we got
right there.
That is your best information.
Got it. I like that. Yeah. That is it. So just give me a little bit about how close this topic is to your daily career.
Oh, wow. It's so tough.
All right. So let me ask you the question.
Yes.
Do you work directly with individuals?
I do not.
Good.
I do not. I've seen cases where I have been an interpreter.
Okay.
So yes, I have not 99.9% no, only 1% with victims.
So when you're an interpreter,
yes,
are you interpreting for their representatives or for the victim themselves or for people that you're connected with your business?
With the people that I'm connected with my business.
Okay. Kind of reminds me of me. I've graduated to where I don't have to have that direct contact anymore. However, there are times. That's good to know.
And it's tough.
Tell me.
It's tough because you're interpreting, listening to what that person is telling you, and then you observing that information, and then now you are saying exactly how they told you, and it's like there's no way that you ever put yourself in their shoes, never, right? Yeah. But it's like you're leaving a little bit of that horrible life or moment that they went through,
Yeah,
it's
hard to even separate because you're heartfelt. You're like, yeah, I get it.
It is hard.
What it does, it atones for, it confirms that what we do, even though our working careers, they kind of come together and separate, that you have to be cut from a certain carpet to work in the human services field, because we're talking about people and their feelings, people and their hurts, people and their traumas, people in their, for lack of a better word, open wounds, right? And their mental instability, and how we're the representatives, we're the human Band-Aids,
right?
We're the human Band-Aids, and we're coming to assist in putting some of the pieces back together again. And I want our viewers and our listeners to know you can make it on broken pieces. You can absolutely make it on broken pieces. And the reason why I say broken pieces is because sometimes the damage, let's face it, the damage has been so in depth that the total healing or the total putting the pieces back together again may not look like it's ever been broken. Right. Have you ever seen some people and they look like they've been through something?
Yes.
It's no secret that I work in the prison system. It's no secret. It's decades. And a person will come out victorious and a success story, but you see that deep scar, right? That's on the side of their face or around their neck. You made it. Yeah. Broken pieces, but you made it. Unfortunately or fortunately, that's the same thing that we can say for these individuals that have made it out of human trafficking. And I'm very proud to have been in your company when you have shown documentaries and true stories of individuals that have been able to make it out of this human trafficking world and had a release of consent to tell their story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's heart moving, it's heart wrenching, and it makes us hopefully think.
Mm-hmm.
Check on your loved ones, check on your elderly, check on your children.
Right.
Um,
Don't trust just anyone.
yeah, don't trust just anyone. Um, Again, we're looking at the numbers here in our state, North Carolina. There is about 7 states that's in between the first state, which is California, and our state, which is the 9th state. So we're talking about 7 more states that have more human trafficking, traffic,
Right.
for lack of a better word, happening.
Right.
I know someone that was a person that was very close to my family, a member of my family that experienced human trafficking and made it out. But guess what? We don't know any details.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't.
Mm-hmm.
That individual, I know where that individual is,
Mm-hmm.
but they are distant.
Mm-hmm.
I may hear from that individual once a year, if that. And I only see that individual's well being if I dig with other family members.
Right.
Because something has happened to allow that individual to become almost like a hermit. So I trust that they fully come out of this human trafficking lifestyle. And I believe that they have. However, they have become very separated from us. And that could be a two-way thing. It could be because they just have a new way of living. They don't want to be a part of the family in close proximity. But the last I've heard, they're doing okay. Yeah. Do you know anyone distant that has come out of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know a lot of cases, a very close case. This person was labor trafficked. And it was devastating when I heard this news. And I was never told any of this because of a shame or culture thing. We don't say any of those
That's right.
things.
I like what you said.
That is something that we're strong believers in, in my culture, that if I tell you, you're gonna tell my mom is gonna tell the sister's gonna tell the cousins, and then the whole neighborhood knows, and now everybody's pointing the finger at you.
And
It's a shame.
And they stigmatize us.
Exactly.
So your culture is not very different from our culture. And the reality is, what I've learned over these years of living, different cultures are more similar than they are different. Because it's the same. What happens in this house stays in this house, which is sad. Because a lot of not nice things go on in the house.
Yes, you are.
A lot of not nice things go on in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. I want to read some things with the few minutes we have left. Right. And I just want to echo some information, doing my little bit of homework. Remember to be aware if the person appears to be disconnected from their family, friends, community organizations, or places of worship like church or synagogues or mosque, right? Check on your children. Check on your children. Check on your children. Oftentimes, and I know this in the part-time field I work in, parents don't even take the time to look at the emails that the schools send stating that their child is a truant or has been absent consistently. So number 2, check and see if your child has stopped attending school. Because if they're not in school, where are they?
Exactly.
Next,
what are they doing?
What are they up to?
Yes.
If a person had a sudden and dramatic change in their behavior. I have another case. Mm-hmm. The child was a straight A student, principal's list, certain age, all downhill as we speak. Question that.
Yeah.
Dig into it.
Right.
Sometimes, regardless of the age of the parent, the grandparent, or the guardian, they want to turn a blind eye
Right.
because they may feel that they can't handle what they find.
Or nothing's wrong with them.
Or nothing's wrong.
It's they're just growing.
Yeah. Always check and see if your minor may or may not be engaged in some type of sexual acts. Grab that cell device.
Mm-hmm.
Check the history. See what's been going on. I'm going to pause. Anything you want to add?
There's if you are checking your child's phone, please, it's really important to know all the tabs, all the applications, because there's some applications that you can actually hide those applications.
Okay, so a person like me, I'm not computer savvy. I'm not cell device savvy. How do I know if it's hidden? How would I know? Mm-hmm.
Well, we do provide some training on how to, get familiar with that. But I'll send you my email and let's talk about it.
So I'll go more. Put your email right there and I'll get it up on the screen.
Here it is.
Okay. So I'm going to read. You want to put it up there?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Just begin typing. Yeah. So what else I want to talk about for us to look out for and have telltale signs? Make sure that the person, whether they're elderly, an adult, your family member, or child, kind of check and see if they're being coached in what they're saying. You could tell if it's a robotic conversation or if they're really genuine in their response. And I've seen it. I've seen the eyes shift to look at the other person before they answer. See how we're giving each other eye contact? You ask me a question and I go. And then I come back to you, or I look over past you to see what should I say and what I should not say. Right. That's a telltale sign.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to put up your contact information, right? Mm-hmm. And that is what you can verbalize it while it's there.
Yes. So that is going to be Banesa with a B as in boy, ANESA at ENC stophumantrafficking.org.
I love it. Banesa at ENC stophumantrafficking.org. Yes, I love it. Talk to them a little bit more and I'll put my email address.
Well, what can I tell you? We provide training. If you have any questions, if you're not sure, hey, send me an email. Let me know. I'm here to help you. I'm here to assist you the best way I can. Please, it's necessary to call law enforcement and let them know what you saw.
That's right.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Now, don't try to be the hero out there. Okay, I'm not asking you to jump on someone. No, I'm asking you just take the lead and call law enforcement and let them handle it.
Yes,
you done what you can.
That is absolutely true, and I think this is a very important topic that we brought to the forefront. And hopefully it can kind of put some ideas and thoughts into some family members, friends, loved ones, even teachers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Teachers, counselors, neighbors. It can put the thought, hey, I wondered about such and such. Mm-hmm. There's also police stations, law enforcement that will allow you to disclose anonymously if you suspect something may be going on next door to you, or you've witnessed some movement coming in and out of certain residences, and you see something that looks suspicious or unusual. Rest assured, you can disclose anonymously, right? Not all of the indicators that we spoke about happens, as you kept hearing Banesa say. This is a case-by-case basis. What I've done, I've searched the social media sites and I purposely connected myself to join with organizations, human traffic organizations. I did that on purpose because I wanted to gain insight. I wanted to become more aware of some of the information that we disclose. Right. I want to be in the know because even as I sat with you today, it's given me red flags on some of the individuals that I work with, what I need to question and kind of look out for. Yeah. And my hope is that we can bring and into this in some form or fashion. But in the meantime, know that resources are out there, help is out there, Banesa is out there, and I guess Chariesse is out there too.
Yes, she is now. She's part of the team.
I want to thank all of you who will and who has already scrolled and stopped to listen to this very important topic. This segment is very, very near and dear to most people's hearts who are viewing this or listening to this. I am the host of Access Your Inner Wisdom. We are on GPAT, that's G, P like Peter, A like Apple, T like Tom, TV23.org. You can find us on most social media platforms. Look at my name, it's spelled pretty uniquely. I'll put it up again. You can find us on YouTube, Roku. You can find us right here on Facebook at our GPAT channel. I usually repost all of the shows that I've been hosting since I've been honored and privileged to become a part of this public access channel. We are a channel of awareness, and we're not going too far. You can certainly reach us, contact us for any personal questions or concerns that you may have, and we are definitely here to help.
Yes, we are.
You did a great job, young lady.
Thank you so much.
And to all of you who will see this airing later on, go in the comment section. We can still see it. We can still review it. To all of Banesa's supporters who will review this, don't forget to chat your name in. Put your name in the comment section. Give her kudos because she did such an excellent job. This is not only my colleague and my coworker, but we actually work as a team.
I know.
Yeah, if not nothing else, we work as a team every month.
I know.
We come together to bring awareness in all sorts of array of areas where human services is needed. Hopefully we'll come back for part 2, and we'll be able to find a bold soldier that will be able to stand flat-footed and tell their success story.
Right. Not only that, let us know what else you want to know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah,
Tell them.
yes, let us
Look
know.
at my co-host to be. This is my co-host to be.
Let us know if you're interested in a specific topic. Let us know we're here to support you. Let us know.
Now I feel safe in taking my vacation, and Access Your Inner Wisdom will still go on with my co-host, Banesa. But yeah, let us know. Put it in the comment section after you view this.
Right.
And hopefully we can come back with a human trafficking awareness part 2.
There you go.
And I'm all for it.
Me
all
too.
for it. This is such a heinous crime. And I will close by letting you know that when some of those individuals get caught, they come to where I work primarily.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to house them in the penitentiary, in the correctional system.
Right.
We are a human first based entity because people are human first and they need help.
Right.
And because I often tell people that I work in corrections, they automatically think instantly, are you an officer? No, we are the treatment part of the facility.
Right.
Just like a hospital, we're there to be treated. And these crimes let you know that the end of the predators are individuals that need serious mental help.
Yes.
Serious
I
mental
cannot agree
help.
more than
Yeah. So that's it for us. Banesa, it was such an honor and privilege to have you on the show. I want to thank GPAT TV 23. I want to thank our general manager, our shop caller. I'm grateful for us being able to have this re-aired. Look for me on YouTube, GPAT TV 23, and my name is CHARIESSE BOYD. And while Banesa gives her information one more time, I'm going to be typing my name.
All right, Banesa, that is with a B as in boy, ANESA at ENC.StopHumanTrafficking.org. Again, if you need to report it, please call the 1-888-373-7888 at the humantraffickinghotline.org.
Sounds good to me. And we are signing off in about less than 30 seconds. Let me just show off my information, because oftentimes people spell my name incorrectly. It is with 9 letters. It's Chariesse Boyd. And you can certainly look on YouTube, and that's where I like to be found. If not, search my page. You'll find me there. My name is spelled a little different. And we look forward to seeing you next month on GPAC TV. Access your inner wisdom with your host, Chariesse Boyd. Bye now.